Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review. And we are talking about Reasonable Doubt, Season 1, and this is going to be Episode 8. One more to the finale. Child, we're going to find out what really happened to Kallesha on the next episode. Now, remember, this is leading up to Season 2. That's already out on Hulu. But I wanted to refresh everybody's memory or give everyone the backstory because everything in Season 1 leads up to Season 2. And from my understanding, the finale actually introduces Season 2. So this is going to be good, y'all. It's going to be good. It sure is, child. I had to pop my pop my tongue to it. But yeah, so listen. Reasonable Doubt on Hulu is the bomb, and I hope it's gonna come back for. I just know it's gonna come back for Season 3 because it's gaining momentum. I'm seeing more and more people talk about it, and yes, it is spreading wings. Okay, but that's a good thing. So let's just get around to it, right? So we're doing more throwbacks, like I said, this whole season about throwbacks. And the more we get to the end, the more we understand what's really going on with these characters. Child, so now we got Shannelle getting into it with JT, and apparently that's going to lead into Season 2. Ooh, child, wait a minute. This throwback regarding stepdad Paul, I must say trigger warning, because child, what happens in this episode, the whole episode is trigger warning because there's a lot of throwback regarding Jax and her stepdad. Trigger warning. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Proceed with caution because, like I said, the whole episode is throwback back and forth between Jax and her stepdad, Paul. So we start off, with a throwback experience with Jax and her stepdad, Paul. He is taking her to a friend's house for dinner, someone she met at one of her jobs or something out there in a whole different neighborhood. So the mom was like, "Wait, hold on, that's a little late for you to be going to dinner at your friend's house, but you on a bus. So why don't you have her come get you since she got it going on like that?" But then Paul, her stepdad, offers to take her and pick her up, which is pretty cool. So he's telling Jax in the car that he's saving up to buy her a car because she is 16 and she's responsible and she's getting good grades and she's a good kid. So they hug and she feels a little weird because he touched her breast part, right? But he didn't say anything. You know how you may brush over somebody, I'm sorry about that, but he didn't say anything. So, she was like, So then next we got Lewis and Jax arguing in the hospital while Paul is there over his hospital bed, child. Paul in the hospital because of his drinking. Even though he stopped drinking, I guess he may have some after effects, some what they call sequela or late effects of the alcoholism that he has done to himself. And he's in the hospital, and again, like Lewis and Jax are arguing. And so the mom is telling them, y'all cool it and whatnot. And so Jax go ahead and leave and whatnot and leaves Paul there. Leaves Lewis there because Lewis is, a good son-in-law. Anywho, next we find Brayden going to his board meeting and find that Theo is there, and it's a surprise. No one told him, but he found out. And pretty much he finds out then that Theo will be the face of the company since he going through what he going through. Okay. And he don't like it, but he got to deal with it. And there's going to be an interview on CNN or something like that to help the company's longevity. Next, we see that CJ is mad at Damon because he ditched the lick to be with Jax, and Damon's like, "I got you next time. Don't worry, I got you." Mm-hmm. Theo mad. So next we see Theo, not Theo, CJ's mad, but Theo mad too because in the next scene is the interview that Theo was saying that he was going to do for the company and for Brayden's longevity. Child, Theo threw Brayden under the bus, front tire, back tire, pretty much giving a non-reassuring outcome about his um, innocence in being accused of 187 Kallesha. And it was very obvious. Like I told you, can't trust Theo. Don't trust Theo. Whatever the song. Don't trust Theo. Now he know. He can't even trust his right-hand man that he been trusting all this time. See, they going to get you every time. Once they find a window, once them trifling folks find a window, they going to go into it. Leave it wide enough open. You just leave it unlocked and they're going to find a way to get in, okay? So next we got Jax bringing the kids to see Paul. And then there's a throwback again to Paul walking with Jax, walking in on Jax in the bathroom. She got the bathroom, she's drying off and everything, and he walks in and want to get a Q-tip. A Q-tip, really? And she's yelling, and the mom like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I just walked in to get a Q-tip. Ain't nobody studying Jax." Excuse you? All that for a Q-tip. Mm-hmm. So the mom is like, "Well, Jax, next time lock the door if you're in there." Excuse you? How about you tell this grown a man not to walk in on my daughter while she's in the bathroom? She's obviously busy. The door is closed. See right there. Mm-mm. 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 Moving on. Brayden. Next, we got Brayden and Jax talking about Theo and how he pretty much didn't give any reassurance about Brayden, but he's going to take the stand. But Brayden wants to take the stand, but it's not a good idea. It's really not. Jax convinced him it's not. So Jax is having lunch with Damon, which is next, and she gets a call from Lewis. Has to go outside because she's at the auto body shop, and she comes back in since she has to leave. It's about her kids, and Damon's like, "Well, I'll come with you." She's like, "No, you cannot. I mean, this is, I told you what this was. We're trying to work some things out, and you come is not a good idea. No, you absolutely cannot come." And he was like, "See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about." She's like, "What are you talking about? You cannot come with me on this issue that I have with my kids, and my husband is there. What are you dumb?" And so he pretty much gives her an ultimatum. She was like, "The last man that gave me ultimatum ended up living outside of my house." She's like, "I don't need this. I'm out." So come to find out, child, they didn't left the kids at the house. At the school. Ain't nobody picked up the kids, and they calling like, "Where are y'all at? We stood here waiting. Ain't nobody at the school. The school about to close down. They done brought down the flag and everything, child." Woo, child. Woo, child. So Lewis pretty much was like, mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. So they meet at the school. The kids is like, "Okay, so what's y'all punishment?" And they was like, "Excuse me?" "Yeah, so ever since y'all broke up, things been haywire. Now we being left." So the kids get in the car. Lewis tells Jax that he met up with a divorce attorney. Left her kind of like, "What?" So, he said he saw her with Damon, and she started him and Han trying to explain. So, no. You obviously got other men going on, so it is what it is. So next we got Jax meeting with her homegirl Shannelle about everything, about the throwbacks, memories of Paul, messing with her as a kid, um, Lewis talking about divorce, Damon giving her problems, and Shannelle was like, I kept your secret all this time. What makes you think I can't keep more secrets? So Jax is upset because Shannelle talked to Lewis remember last episode? Shannelle approached Lewis while they came to her kid's birthday party, just letting him know that how, much in support she is of them. And she hopes that they'll work everything out real soon because she sees how happy Jax is. So Jax pretty much picked up on that and was, pretty much gave Lewis more fuel to the fire to seek out a divorce, considering that he's not making her happy. Obviously, another man is, and it was confirmed by him finding her with Damon. And that's why Shannelle was like, if you can't trust to tell me everything you need to tell me, then it was an innocent mistake of me communicating that sentiment to Lewis. So, she pretty much confides in Shannelle regarding Damon and everything, and was just like, he was, the ex-client that got out. He did 16 years and they hooked up. She was like, girl, well, your situation more than mine, because what I got at home is just ridiculous. And Jax was like, what you talking about? But Shannelle couldn't find more of that to discuss with her. So we know that Shannelle got some issues at home with her husband, more than what meets the eye. But she couldn't go into further detail because she was just too bothered by Jax's attitude about feeling like she can't trust Shannelle, even though Shannelle has not divulged anything to anybody, not even the other two homegirls, about the most private and intimate things that she's shared with Shannelle. So Shannelle pretty much gets up and leaves and lets her know, I got your back, but you need to trust me more, whatever. You know how I go when friends get mad. So they do more strategy for Brayton's case with Jax and everybody, and then they're at the court. And so Jax decides to go after Sarah on the stand, pretty much, letting them know that letting the jurors know that there can be a possible other suspect, considering that Sarah had no alibi. Child, that was kind of so Rich has drinks with Theo, and that was pretty much a ruse or a coup to get Theo's fingerprints, because they found additional fingerprints on the wine glass that was used on Kallesha. Child, we're gonna find out some more stuff. Who fingerprints was it? Whose? So again, like I said, they're in trial, and goes on, and Sarah's blamed due to the emails by the DA's office. Pretty much trying to say that she could have, was the one who got rid of Kallesha. And like I said, because she has no alibi, that made her look like a suspect, but it was not the DA who said it. It was Jax during the cross-examination, trying to oppose Sarah. First, trying to uphold her as a supporting wife, but then presenting her as a potential suspect. Now, Theo takes a stand, and he was there at Kallesha's. That he pretty much said he was there the night, but he was never questioned as a suspect. And if you recall, in the beginning of trial, they argued that why was Brayton the only one considered a suspect? Now they're talking about there was somebody else there the night Kallesha lost her life. And now it's raising suspicion. So now they got Theo, who could be a suspect, known, who is a part of the company too. There's motive there because Kallesha was going to start talking about the company in a negative light on Good Morning America, where everybody named Mama watch. And now we got the wife who's sending emails to Kallesha, not so nice, conversations, and pretty much everybody's a suspect. Of course, Braden, his wife, now his business partner, because because there's motive for all three, right? Got the business aspect, and then we got the, messing with my man, my man, my man. So, Go ahead, Jax. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jax. Go ahead. Do your job, baby. Do your job. So next we got Brayton and Jax talking, kind of going over what happened at the court at his house. And he makes a pass at her. And she's like, oh, hell no. Let me get the hell up out of here. And he was, kind of not forceful, but really trying to get a kiss. Child, if you don't go on somewhere. So then she runs out and sits in her car and has another flashback. And it's very gruesome, to where she remembers her stepdad getting in her bed late at night. He's drunk as a skunk and really touching on her and telling her that he wanted. And she was just like, what? She was startled and scared. And then he got up and left. Child. You see, these throwbacks is something else. Next, we got Will shows up unexpectedly at Jax's house. Of course, he's been texting her. Like I said in the previous episode, they've been deleting her messages. So he has no way of work, because apparently Lewis, who saw the video of him and Jax doing it, pretty much badmouthed him and blackballed him in his business, where he can't find work. And so she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, but what I'll do is have my secretary draw that up for you. He's asking for a letter of reference because of your husband. I can't work and I got bills. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to get none. He's just trying to, get some help, because he knows how with her being an attorney, that's big time. And maybe she knows someone, but nevertheless, she lets him know that, of course, she'll have her secretary write up something for him as a reference letter, so he can get work, so hopefully get work somewhere. So as she's letting him out of the front door, Damon is there. Child, Damon just said, who the hell is this? Boom, bam, pow, poof. Girl, he stomps him out, knocks him out, and the man's on the ground. Jax is screaming. He go at Jax like, what are you doing with this dude? I told you I loved you. Then he ran out after she told Damon to get ghost. The guy was like, I'm sick of you. I wish I never met you. And I can't believe this is happening to me. Then he walks out too. And she's just like, oh my God. Oh my God. But before Damon left, he said, I'm your man. She's like, you are not my man. Get the hell up out of here. So, child. Now, there's another part to this story, to this season, that's been going on. So at this point, we are looking at a very disgruntled Damon. Now, for the last couple of episodes, there's been I guess not a throwback, but a preview to what's going to happen in the finale, I guess. And it's pretty much a scene to where Jax is bound and tied to a chair, and someone has a pistol on her. They cock it. Now I'm starting to figure out, I think it's Damon. It's been going on the last few episodes, but it's been so kind of insignificant. But by the looks of things with this case, I don't think it's the case. I think it may be Damon, because the show can't be Lewis, even though he mad as hot as fish grease. But anyway, child. Anyway, so we got in the next scene, Brayden apologizes to Jax at court. She was like, yeah, whatever. She ain't happy about it. And then Brayden's mom takes a stand, talks about Brayden stepping to this, stopping her from retaliating towards her other son's demise in the neighborhood. It really wasn't a good look. However, she was never cross-examined. Of course, the DA ain't gonna tear the mom apart. It's not cool for them. It's not a good look for them to, to do something like that. So outside of the courtroom, Jax calls Lewis to talk. lets him know she wants to talk to him when he dropped the kids off. And he's like, I don't have time for all that. So she starts to profess her apology, her love, her sincerity, and why she felt the way she felt, the reason to start seeing somebody else. And he was like, well, it is what it is. And she was like, I just don't want us to do a divorce. When you said that, it really shook me to my core. So he was like, look, I need some time after hearing all this. So, more time for Lewis. So then we got a Jax throwback. She's thinking of when Paul apologized the day after he got into her bed about getting, into her bed. And she doesn't believe him. She's just shaking her head like, because she's thinking back to all the other times that he's done stuff. But he's never apologized for that. She just knows that he's been doing things to her, coming on to her, and it's been making her feel a way. So she starts crying, and then her mom comes in and hears why she's crying. And then she goes and kicks Paul out the house after giving him the what for. And pretty much, she then she comes back to reality, goes to Damon's place of business, and pretty much, breaks up with him. Like, I cannot have all this. This is ridiculous. And then she's another throwback, remembering how her mom felt when kicking Paul out. What is she going to do now? And that was her man, and I just can't believe it. So she vowed to take care of her mom, even though her mom should be comforting her. And then so Jax pretty much goes back to that little kid while she's talking to Damon, and lets him know that she'll still be here for him, but they will not be anything more, But that ain't gonna work, girl. This man crazy. Anyway, that's just a cycle. When you have that as a kid, it comes back or just rears its ugly head as an adult. So next we got Jax clears her calendar and goes to address Paul at the hospital, because she's like, I can't work no more today. She goes into work and discovers she can't work. It's too much on her mind. All these throwbacks to when she was 16, regarding her stepfather. Now, again, he's in a hospital on the brink, pretty much. So she goes to the hospital, addresses Paul, and confronts him about her feeling like he was grooming her. And he was like, I'm sorry I did that. I thought I apologized. I thought we were over it. She's like, no, we're not over it. Because if you do that same thing to my daughter, I'm going to make sure that you don't take another doggone breath. In the meantime of her confronting him, he's reaching for his oxygen. And then she takes the nurse's alert button from him because she really wants him to hear her. So in the midst of her finishing what she needed to tell him, he starts to hyperventilate, and then she throws the nurse call button at him, and he alerts the nurse that he needs some assistance. The mom comes back from downstairs getting something to drink, and they're pretty much trying to work on him because he's losing breath. Pretty much she gave him the what for, and now he just can't believe it. And the mom you hear them in the background as she's leaving out of the room. Paul, no, this isn't happening. And Jack just walks out as her stepfather is leaving this earth. And then so Jax calls Rich to say she knows who took care of Kallesha. And that was the end of episode 8, that episode before the finale. Oh, I wonder who she gonna find out. Oh, I wonder who she gonna say. I can't wait for the finale. I know you can't either. So thanks again for tuning in, y'all. I appreciate it. Check out everything else I'm working on for Vlogtober. Happy Vlogtober. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you later. Bye.